On this episode of What's in My Bag, we're taking a look at back-to-school essentials on a kinda, sorta budget. Plus, the bag we're looking at has a built-in hard shell, so you never have to worry about this. So, let's check it out.
Starting off with the bag, let's talk details. And the first thing you'll notice is the shiny, color-morphing, stealthy System G logo, right smack dab on the front water-resistant nylon material. Beside that, the creme de la creme hard shell pocket, which basically reminds me of like a luggage bag with a matte and smooth finish. It takes a beating and holds its shape throughout. Along the bottom feels like a heavy coated nylon for that extra level of durability. Unfortunately, due to the shape of the bag though, it does struggle to stand upright when set on the ground. But that thicker material does a fairly good job when it needs to perform. Just a little peace of mind that this bag should last in the long run. There are waterproof zippers around the laptop pocket, which really is the main one that counts. Then some semi-sealed zippers around the rest of the pockets, which still do a really good job at keeping water out. And although the bag does consist of a softer nylon material around most of it, in a light downpour, the zipper and materials have you covered. Now onto the zippers themselves. The zipper pulls are quite dangly, but not for nothing. These large holes can interlock into each other, making a temporary lock that prevents anyone from opening on the fly. Next, this bag has handles galore, with two nicely padded and hidden away on each side, and a larger one along the top. You won't have any trouble grabbing onto this bag. The shoulder straps are wide, but not too cushioned, but they're soft, which makes wearing it manageable for long trips and even heavy loads. Better yet, if you're traveling with the bag, the straps can be unclipped and stowed away so they're not all over the place, which of course is when you're thankful for how comfy those side handles are. And speaking of comfort, there's two large pads along the backside, which definitely help when you start packing it in. There's plenty of loops along the shoulder strap, which is meant for adjusting the height of the chest strap, but it's also just great to hang any goodies on. And for someone who's 5'11", this bag doesn't look too out of place on me, even though it sticks out quite a bit. I'm a huge fan of the geometric shape. It kind of looks like I'm from the future. And once it's fitted on properly, you can still Naruto run with this Ninja Turtle shell on. But back to the traveling aspect, this whole back pocket is designed to slide onto luggage handles because, surprise, it unzips along the bottom as well. And doubly surprised, it's even got hidden straps to tuck something along the bottom too. Whether that be a tripod, jacket, or umbrella, you can tighten it in for an extra carry option if need be. Finally, in terms of branding, the bag is quite sleek and minimal, but there are a few spots you'll find that infamous G. It's nothing that takes away from the bag though. It's still got that Space Marine jetpack vibe going on that I'm digging quite a bit, and while in actual use, I find it's more of a casual bag, which works perfectly for school. Throw on a hoodie for your best low effort outfit. It may not be the greatest as a professional bag, as it does stick out quite a bit unless you're a professional gamer of sorts, but my favorite has to go with the simple t-shirt and shorts. Since the bag already sticks out physically and aesthetically, you may want to stay as simple as possible. Anyways, let's see what I'm carrying, and starting with what's attached on my shoulder pads, this is the OneTigris badge holder and wallet hybrid attached on a KEY-BAK badge reel. One side holds all your essential cards, student ID, dorm ID, gym ID, whatever ID, all safely secured in with a Velcro strap, and beside that, a space for a pen too, because you never know when you have to go old school and write down your digits for your girl. My go-to pen of choice, as most of you know, is the Fisher Space Bullet Pen. This little sucker is the size of my finger when closed, but unplug this little guy and you've got a full-size pecker in your hands now, something we're all definitely too familiar with holding. It's super minimal with a metal construction, and thanks to the pressurized cartridge, can even write upside down. Now on that same side, there's a metal D-ring as well for you hip people that want to wear this around your neck like some gold chain. But for the rest of you less exciting people, I recommend adding the KEY-BAK badge holder with a solid metal carabiner on one end, a tough polycarbonate shell, and a 24-inch Kevlar cable that keeps your gear in check. It even comes with a badge snap built in. This is the setup you need to get around campus like a ninja. Better yet, the two pieces can be separated by Velcro, so you can either lighten your load or go with a pocket carry option too. But connected to your shoulder pad, it stays right where you need it and accessible on the fly. Next up is a quick one for your own safety, and just in case on a late night walk of shame home from the library, this is the BASU or BASU eAlarm Plus, and it does one thing when you pull on it. It makes a really loud and annoying noise, which is great when someone is trying to get at you that you're not attracted to, but not so great for anywhere else. Safety first, kids. Next is for the budget folk who can't afford an Apple Watch. This Casio watch is basically the dumb version of that. It doesn't do much, but it does tell the time. It's got a built-in light, world time, a stopwatch, and even an alarm, all for about 20 bucks. Plus, if you look at it fast enough, it's sort of shaped like an Apple Watch. so you can definitely trick your friends and yourself emotionally that way. Moving on to the actual pockets of the bag, starting with the fairly large and stretchy water bottle pockets, I've got my favorite bottle, the Contigo Autoseal Cortland. I've dropped, thrown, and used this as self-defense because it's basically indestructible. Plus, the push to release means water is only leaving this bottle when I tell it to. The best part though has to go to the built-in carabiner. So even for you budget folks who can't afford water bottle pockets, you can hang this on any strap and stay hydrated. Next up, this tiny quick access pocket above. It's a really tight vertical space that can't store much, but I've got a Westmark bottle resealer and a GoSip metal straw. Basically kitchen goods on the go. On the opposite side, it's the exact same layout, except I've got my budget umbrella of choice, the Amazon Basics travel umbrella, mainly for its tiny size and this, a single button operation. Push to open and well bam. Then the same to close, easy peasy. Now in the quick access on this side, some useful items you should have on the daily, a tile to keep track of your stuff, and the Victorinox mini champ that packs a tool for every occasion.
The first feature I want to highlight as my favorite are these dual water bottle pockets, because having one is great, but having two is amazing for grabbing all the things in a flash. They're large and stretchy, so it accommodates a range of bottle sizes. But what I really love about these is that they just act as quick access pockets too. Now having a ton of quick access on both sides is great, but it doesn't end there. The top also has a water sealed pocket, which I've got a dispatch CapSnap attached onto the large zipper pull. These clips are perfect for any snapback fanatic. It's a spring loaded clip that locks onto the top nibble of your cap, and when slid in properly, your cap stays in place through any pulling and tugging. Now in the pocket itself, these are things I grab most often, like an extra pen I may need in a hurry, my keys stored inside the Key Smart organizer, some hand and face cream because self-care is the best care, and this, the Mighty Vibe, which I guess can be described as a Spotify MP3 player. Combine that with the Anker Soundcore Liberty Neo, it's an amazing budget pair of wireless earphones. For this all to work though, you need a Spotify premium subscription. Once you've got it all connected though, you can pick and choose what playlist you want from Spotify downloaded onto the Mighty. Then you're good to go listening offline without your phone. But it's also got an extra button on the top right corner that allows you to switch between your synced playlists. The built-in clip on the backside also allows you to attach this onto a collar, pocket, or in my case, a watch strap, which allows you easy access to its controls. Does this count as a smartwatch now? As for earphones, the Anker Soundcore Liberty Neo has one main benefit: size. These guys are tiny, simple, and they actually stay in my ears. The added wings help keep them snug and they don't stick out like a sore thumb. There's only a single button on either earphone, so you do lack volume control. Then again, that's where the Mighty Vibes built-in controls come in handy, and being able to clip it in a convenient spot makes it hassle-free to carry it around with you. So that's the top pocket. It fits about my whole hand inside, not the largest, but more than enough for the essentials. Speaking of which, the last item inside, a Burton cable lock. A fairly cheap feeling lock that's originally designed for skis and snowboards, but I recommend it here as the perfect solution to keep your bag locked in while studying at the library, as you will inevitably fall asleep, because I know you will. It's not the strongest lock, but it's convenient and good enough to avoid someone swiping your bag while on a number 2 washroom run. Now before I move on, there's also a hidden pocket on the backside, because of course there is. It's lined in a soft clothy material. It's tall and wide, but not very thick. I think it's great for travel documents, cash, or even a phone that you want to keep hidden away, like if there weren't already enough pockets on this bag. Anyways, let's cover the money makers, the workstation to get all your miserable assignments done on, all hidden away in this rear pocket that's locked in with dual clips. Unzipping it open, you can see the contrasty orange interior to ensure you can see everything inside clearly, like their very own utility pack that they offer, sold separately of course. I fill it with all the accessories I need that we'll check out in a bit, because our main workhorse is hidden in this wide and spacious sleeve pocket inside. The new iPad Pro 11-inch, where they've killed the bezels, designed flat edges, and just all around feels like a real mobile workhorse. Of course, I had to accessorize it too, because this wouldn't be accessorized me if I didn't go a little overboard. Starting off, the Apple Pencil 2, as this stylus is a must for anyone who wants to take handwritten notes. It's super accurate, has almost no latency when writing, and the new matte soft finish is way better than the first generation. Oh, and it charges magnetically too, finally. Next, this flap of leather is actually the Apple Smart Keyboard Folio, which
I recommend over others for being the slimmest keyboard ever. It's got waterproof keys for all you klutz, and I actually like typing on this keyboard. Get at me. Now stuck onto the front side though, this is a slab of Horween leather, and for anyone that's unfamiliar, that's the good stuff. This is a full wrap from SlickWraps designed specifically for the Apple Smart Keyboard Folio. It's not cheap, it's not necessary, but oh boy does it look amazing. Now the wrap does cover the backside too, but I've opted out of using it because of this. This is the UAG Scout Case that I've also decked out with the Ringke laptop stand for some low angle iPad action. But what makes this case so special, it's a case for a case, as it's designed to fit on top of the Smart Keyboard Folio. It's crazy, your jaw just dropped, but I'm not done, because I've also attached this small NFC tag that you can program to do whatever you want, like what I did, a business card. Whenever you meet someone new, just tap and voila, it me. Excessive? Yes. Necessary? No. Will you guys still comment saying you can't afford any of this? Most definitely so. Let's get building. Within the UAG Scout Case, you clip the keyboard in first, then just pop in the iPad like a regular case. Even the pencil has its own latch. Although the Smart Folio does protect the backside of the iPad, it lacks any coverage on the edges, and that's where a case like this is useful for all you Butterfingers out there. The fun doesn't end there though. If you remember that utility pack, the pack itself is made of a similar thick water-resistant nylon to keep your gear dry, and inside it's got several pockets to store your gear and even a detachable pouch within it too. Starting off with the Logitech M720 Triathalon mouse. It's ergonomic, has a comfortable rubbery texture, and connects up to 3 devices through Bluetooth. Next is my favorite, the new 12 South StayGo, a portable USB-C hub with every port you can ask for packed inside a premium metal build. And surprise mother sucker, it's got a USB-C cable stored within itself. Mic drop. Then to keep things running, this is the RAVPower Type-C PD wall charger. It's got a USB-C port that juices out a whopping 61 watts, but also includes a Type-A for other old school devices. With all that power, it still fits within the palm of my hands. Inside the detachable pouch, essential cables, but more notably, this little sucker. For all you young kids, this is called a USB drive. This one specifically being the Sandisk Cruzer Fit, which I love because it's only the size of the damn plug. It's so tiny, but it's still packs 32 gigabytes inside with larger models available too. So it's a good backup to have that takes literally no room to carry. The detachable pouch is great to organize and pack less when needed. And finally, a cable worth noting, the CHAFON multi-cable, a single USB-A connected to a Lightning, micro USB, and USB-C. Great to charge multiple devices at once without the hassle of dealing with multiple cables. Plus with their durable threaded cords, these little guys are great backups to just keep thrown inside any bag. So the real question is, how does this all work in class, at the library, or with a full setup? Well, just typing notes? Easy. It's just a keyboard. When you have to handwrite notes, fold out that laptop stand. Your wrist will thank you. Doing some research, well, the new iPad OS, believe it or not, can take a mouse input. Bam! That's where the Logitech M720 comes in. Need to connect external devices? That's where the 12 South StayGo comes to the rescue. SD card reader, USB inputs, and HDMI at the ready. You want to keep everything charged? Cha-ching! RAVPower 61 watt PD charger. Work, work, work. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Oh look, your other devices are low on battery? No problem. A single multi-USB cable for all the devices. Yeah, it gets messy, but the point is the iPad is handling everything. Need to share some files? Well, the backup USB drive connects directly to the iPad, so you can share all the exam cheat sheets with ease. If you have time to procrastinate, HDMI it up. Bam! Best show on planet Earth, hands down. Back to being productive, well, now you can go on the big screen for everyone to learn together. Yeah, it's a lot, it can get messy, but honestly, you can get away with just this. A single Lightning to USB-C cable, this one being from RAVPower. Having this cable basically allows you to use your iPad as an external battery for your phone. So you never have to worry about missing out on any of your worried mom's texts, because let's be real, no one else is texting you. That's my recommended workhorse, the iPad Pro 11-inch, and some accessories to make it even better. Now onto the opposite spectrum. In that same pocket, I've got a good old-fashioned clipboard. This one by OfficeMate, their slim clipboard storage box. This is the super budget old school option of getting through class for those who need to physically jot notes down. The clip just holds in paper like a champ, then when class is dismissed, store your writing utensil right inside the bottom casing. Not only that, you can flip open the whole damn thing and store your precious notes too. It's simple, it's cheap, and it allows you to keep everything in one one place. The back pocket itself is quite large too, not only vertically but also in thickness, as you can see with its expanding structure here. So to answer your burning question, yes, it does fit a laptop without a problem, like my Dell XPS 15-inch with plenty of room to spare, so the pocket isn't cramping its style. Plus, the pouch pocket makes a perfect spot for the charger too. Trust me when I say it's spacious, because it can comfortably fit the clipboard alongside the laptop too. With everything still easily accessible, this bag will have no issues storing any laptop you try and throw at it. Now moving on to the rest of the bag, starting with the outer front pocket, this pocket alone is like pocket's inception. Plus that front flap holds a dedicated spot for an included pouch, just a long pencil case like soft shell, so I actually use it as my emergency kit. Nothing fancy, wet naps, band-aids, allergy medication, nausea pills, and a few other knickknacks I have just in case. A few notable ones being Sugru, because this Play-Doh-like material hardens in any shape to fix any broken mistake. And this waterproof tube that stores this, well, shriveled up towel. Yes, you heard that right. That's basically more thirsty than your Tinder account, because when you hydrate it, it becomes a full towel. Why have this, you ask? Well, sometimes you run into a washroom stall and forget to check if there's tissue paper. You'll be glad you have a few of these. Now, how you hydrate them while dropping a number 2 is your secret to keep. This is my just-in-case kit I have in my bag for those, well, just-in-case moments. But the fun is just starting. The front flap has several small sleeve slots for SD cards, Switch games, or like a small tiny cracker holder. And opposite to that, plenty of pen holders, which I actually like to fill with a pen, because when I need a pen, I'd like to know I can open any pocket and have access to one. Flipping around, there's a large stretchy sleeve pocket, best for anything on the flatter side, which is where I store my iPhone gaming controller, the Gamesir S6. I've tested quite a few phone controllers, and this is by far the best I've used at an affordable price point. There's 6 buttons on the front face, a single joystick, and 3 triggers, 2 on the left and a single on the right. It accommodates several phone sizes thanks to the spring-loaded clamp, and the rubber padding on the back does help with intense gaming sessions. The best part though is the app that allows you to configure every button on the screen for any gaming screen layout. My game of choice going to PUBG. This controller allows me to transfer most of my on-screen function to a physical input, and let's just say I've been eating a lot of chicken dinners since using this. I find smartphone gaming as a great break without having to carry around additional consoles, and the added controller gives me that extra edge in gameplay. Within that pocket though are 2 smaller sleeves. I keep some Starbucks via instant coffee as backup during a study sesh, quick to make, tastes decent, and gives you that kick of caffeine you need to keep going. Beside that, I've got some lo-fi gaming, the Air Deck playing cards. These are about half the size of regular cards, making them very portable. They're made of plastic, so they last longer, they're waterproof, and therefore much easier to clean. And playing cards are just one of those legal things you can whip out at any time and meet new friends over a heated session of Big 2. That's it for the front, but behind that is the real money maker though, or should I say money saver? Because this hard shell is designed to keep the gear inside extra protected. This is basically where pockets take steroids, and the steroids it takes also takes steroids, because you've got a pouch for everything. First off, I'm a really huge fan of these side sleeves that I use as my pencil case for really quick access. Thin pens, thick pens, brush pens, and Sharpies. You never know what type of line you need to draw. I've even got this super thin folding magnetic ruler because, let's be honest, we all suck at drawing straight lines. Now, not only are there pockets, there's even this, a strap specifically meant to hang your headphones on. And it's honestly the best part about this whole area, mainly thanks to the hard shell. Being able to hang your headphones here make them easily accessible, and you don't need to take up more space within the bag with an additional case anymore. That's convenience at its finest. Underneath though, I also recommend the Fuji Instax SP2 printer again this year, mainly because it's gone way down in price, and I think it does one thing almost no one ever does anymore: print physical photos. It's another great way to make new friends by bribing them with photos of yourself, or it's just a great way to have a physical copy of a moment that made you giggle like a little girl to always remember. Above all that, a zippered pouch I store some outdoor gear inside. They recommend this pocket to store your sunglasses, but I like to store things like a plastic bag. Super cheap and great to have just in case. But next, the Matador Pocket Blanket 2, a lightweight folded up blanket that very easily unfolds to cover a very large space. The ripstop nylon is very thin but durable, and I like to double this as an emergency rain cover for my whole body. Thanks to the waterproof nature of the nylon, water just slips and slides right off, keeping everything underneath dry as a bone. When done, it folds back into the size of your palm, and as the name suggests, actually fits into your pocket.
I'm a fan of the tough and durable pocket because a lot of tech and non-tech can be quite fragile. So throwing the gear around you're worried about getting smacked around in here gives you peace of mind that it's safe. And then you can continue going around throwing your stuff around because, let's be honest, Heroclips.
Looking into the main space now, I've got your ultimate napping solution, the Ostrich Pillow Mini. You wear it like a glove, it's filled with microbeads, and has a soft and stretchy shell. It's like holding a little cloud in your hand. Best used for quick nap sessions in between classes, as it sits perfectly where you'd usually just plop your head down anyways. And if you don't have a table to lean on, no problemo. Now within that main pocket, we've also got their very own travel organizer sold separately. A detachable pouch that has several organizational pockets in itself. It's got a premium material feel like the rest of the bag, and because it's quite roomy, I actually store all my Nintendo Switch gear inside when I do decide to bring it with me. The main body, Joy-Cons, games, and in the pouches underneath, more Joy-Cons because it's best played together. Then flipping behind for the large mesh pocket, I store the rest of the accessories. Cables, chargers, and this super portable dock conversion kit from Base Top that makes it manageable to carry your dock around. And my favorite for when you don't want a dock but need a better stand, this Joby Grip-Tight stand for small tablets fits perfectly for the Nintendo Switch thanks to its adjustable clamp. Plus the included legs make setting the Switch up at any angle a breeze. Like they say, beating strangers in Mario Kart is the best way to make friends. At least, I say that. So game on. You can definitely use the travel organizer for its intended purpose too. I've stuffed 6 t-shirts inside, 2 pairs of underwears on the front pouches, along with some toiletries in the wider top pouch. It's definitely a convenient organizer for a weekend trip. Lastly, in the main pocket, I always carry an extra t-shirt, just in case things get a little heated in class. There's a sleeve inside the main pocket too that fits a book perfectly. I highly recommend checking out the Anxiety Toolkit from Alice Boys. If you're an introvert like myself, it's got some tips that'll help you from overstressing. So that's the main compartment. It's not super large, but has more than enough room for a few books. But the bulk of the organization is within the hard shell and along the edges thanks to those quick access pockets.
This bag is one of the best values you can buy, simply because it's all you'll have to buy. With so many pockets, sleeves, compartments, you don't need a separate pencil case, tech pouch, or even a headphone case. There's basically a spot for every doohickey you can imagine.
Finally, you bet I didn't forget this, I've got the Heroclip attached on the side handle. To Eli 5 it, it's a carabiner with an additional flip out hook attached. Because if you've ever gone to a public washroom stall without a coat hook, then you'll understand the stress of having to put your bag down on the pee drenched floors while you drop a number 2. So a Heroclip basically makes a hook anywhere you need your bag lifted off the ground, which then conveniently stores back as a carabiner when you've completed your duties. That's everything I'd carry in this bag and my collection of gear I recommend you check out to make school just a little more interesting. It's a lot, but the bag has a lot of pockets to fill, so I don't expect you to want everything, but I do hope some of these items make it into your daily carry.
Now, the bag isn't perfect, and there are a few things you want to consider when you decide to purchase this bag. The first one being the big elephant in the room, or should I say turtle, because this is a really big bag that looks like a Ninja Turtle shell. Although it's only 30 liters, the hard shell and the extra cushioning throughout the bag does come at a cost in size. So when you are wearing this bag, just keep in mind your surroundings and allow for an extra foot of clearance around you at all times. Next, if you really love carrying separate pouches and organizers for your gear, this bag may not be the best option for you. You would just be wasting the bag's potential by not using the excessive amount of organization built in, which is essentially what you're paying for. And finally, this may be a deal breaker for some right off the bat, but the laptop compartment isn't raised, which I'd love to see them implement in future iterations because I do like to throw my bags around a lot. It's just nice to know my laptop wouldn't be making love directly to the floor. I will give it to them though, the bottom is still quite padded. But ignoring all my other issues, just giving it 1 or 2 inches of clearance on the bottom would make this the ultimate gear hauling bag in my opinion. Given all the pockets and features along with this hard shell built in at about $150, I'd say that's a steal. You've got all the slots for pens that you can ever wish for, a whole hard shell area for all your electronics, and even a detachable pouch. This bag is prepared for anything. That's it. Let me know what your favorite feature of the bag was or what your favorite product I mentioned today was. That's my bag.